niche and then expand out from there.
Very good. As we begin to wrap up, you, I think, said early on in the conversation that you're in your early 50s. So in thinking back over the course of your career, what you've learned business-wise and in your personal life, what advice would you give to women and men, individuals who are younger, either just about to start their careers or maybe only a few years into their careers? What advice would you give to individuals?
I would say if they're interested in being their own boss, to start experimenting with that as fast as possible, because your success rate will be kind of determined by obviously the amount of experience you have, kind of trying to create your own business and be your own boss. And I sat on the couch and thought about starting my own company like this one for many years before I actually went and did it. So I would say take action sooner rather than later, and keep your lifestyle really minimal so that you have the flexibility to do that.
Very good. That's good advice. And with today, with technology and with the way the workforce is, you can, if you're working for, say, corporate America or your parents' business or whatever the case is, you could start something as a sideline business. What do we say today? Like a side hustle.
Absolutely.
But you can do something part-time, build your skill set, increase your network, experiment with being an entrepreneur, and then in some cases, this original business idea could take off, or it may lead to something else, or at the very least, the skills that you learn on that side business might very well come in handy if you continue to be more of an employee in a classic employer-employee relationship. There's no downside, right?
And absolutely. I mean, you can be an entrepreneur. You could become, some companies are starting to see the value of entrepreneurial skills within the corporation, and sometimes you can have a very successful career in the right company, with those kind of skills. I would say also sometimes people use family life or whatever as an excuse to not do things. I would say get your kids involved. I was an extremely good student, graduated from the University of Texas at Austin, honors degree, great. I was very good at school, but a lot of the things that I have learned the last few years, which are super interesting, have been much more valuable, and they don't teach you those at school. And so, there's a book called, you're probably familiar with it, Rich Dad, Poor Dad.
Yeah,
yeah, exactly. And so, I think he's spot on when he talks about the stuff that, school is, I still think, education is obviously the best thing, but we should be augmenting that with, real life skills like sales and financial stuff, and just things that really aren't taught in schools for whatever reason. I'm not sure, but they're the things that the degree doesn't make somebody successful. It's, soft skills, networking, sales, to be blunt, those kind of more relational skills that you learn, if you can learn at an early age from somebody, by observing that, or a mentor or an uncle. Everybody always had the goofy uncle in the family who's starting businesses. Well, so that, you could be that for your kids, get them involved, and maybe in a very small way, but at least they'll see you experimenting and see you succeed and fail. And your attitude will determine how they feel about that outcome.
Very good. Well, our time has just absolutely flown by, which doesn't surprise me. Great discussion. For individuals who would like to get more information about you and Mirror Your Brilliance, how would they go about doing that?
Well, they could email me directly. It's Kayla, with no Y, Kala, at mirroryourbrillianceonvideo.com. Or then go to the website, Mirror Your Brilliance on Video, and there's ways to sign up for our email newsletter there as well. And also a YouTube channel is a great way to get a sense of who I am and what I do at Mirror Your Brilliance.
Wonderful. Kayla, thank you so much for spending a few minutes with me today. I really enjoyed the discussion. Hopefully we could do it again before too long. Listeners, please subscribe to the podcast at iTunes, Stitcher, other platforms. You could also subscribe by going to my website, which is elliottwealth.com. That's 2 L's and 2 T's. Also at the website, you could sign up for a no-cost complimentary consultation so that we could talk about you, your finances, your financial goals, how we can help you win with money. So thanks very much for listening. Thank you, Kayla. I will be back with a new episode of the Simply Financial podcast very soon. Thank you.
Thank you.
The views expressed are not necessarily the opinion of SagePoint Financial Incorporated and should not be construed directly or indirectly as an offer to buy or sell any securities mentioned herein. Investing is subject to risks, including loss of principal invested. Past performance is not a guarantee of future results. No strategy can assure a profit nor protect against loss. Please note that individual situations can vary. Therefore, the information should be relied upon when coordinated with individual professional advice. Please note, the information being provided is strictly as a courtesy. When you link to any of the websites provided here, you are leaving this website. We make no representation as to the completeness or accuracy of the information provided at these websites, nor is the company liable for any direct or indirect technical or system issues or any consequences arising out of your access to your use of third-party technologies, websites, information, and programs made available through this website. When you access one of these websites, you are leaving our website and assume total responsibility and risk for your use of the websites you are linking to. Securities and advisory services are offered through SagePoint Financial Incorporated, member FINRA SIPC. Insurance services offered through Elliott Wealth Management, LLC, not affiliated with SagePoint Financial.
Simply Financial is part of the Exvadio Podcast Network. You can find Exvadio podcasts at exvadio.com/podcast, the Apple Podcasts app, iTunes Store, iHeartRadio app, Spotify, Stitcher, and wherever you find podcasts. So join us and stay informed and entertained.